Fast forward, you come over to you saw how GH Politics Avenue. Political stories are trending because make headlines. Ni jembre ni DB Elsomo ewa ni DB yang black semu. Best talk say mo mbra yang semu. Ono ye kwen semu. Yes, state of emergency. Mano ka say Ghana for ehwe aban ni nim sen ko betime declare say be ya enka galamsey prone areas no. Ka betime hu military men. Ana say bia police for ewo ha omo ebo ban say be ya omo se ensase no se oman na japade ni nyina no omo ebetimi ayu omo afri eho no ene me no ka say poll tracker be from TV3 etimi identify say is it justifiable and now say is unjustifiable. Now omo dey so many factors egu akwema eno kire say say oman pain we declare state of emergency and now say enhu ehia sanso na lawyer Martin Kpebu enso etimi ede na di fake say eye Akonta mining ni case no enche crampo enche bia kra no eye October yi ma e ba shase na yeah.
At least there is a certain track record of Bafubonde supporting personal liberties. Yes, you know, our society is growing stronger. Yes, Gamanche Kentucky go through the second, right? Good morning. The man leading the charges for the Addo case. Okay, we'll continue to loud Gamanche. I've seen other chiefs. Oh, Togbe Afede. Yes, they're celebrating the Yam Festival, right? And they have a team on corruption. So, Togbe Afede, thank you. Continue the trailblazing. Togbe Afede was one other chief that spoke up a lot during the Akuffo's misgovernance and tyranny. Togbe, we are very grateful, right? And so, Johnson Esiedu, once again, the 52.5 billion report, 52.5 billion cedis. That report must come out so that we'll see where that money went to. The money we borrowed from the IMF is nowhere near the 52.5 billion. So we need to see that money that left the GCB accounts. Where did it go? I think Esiedu has to be sacked immediately. Well, since 2020 December, we've read this letter several times. You said there will be a report. December 2020. This 2025 is almost coming to an end. So 5 years on, one report. One report, morning, afternoon, evening. You can't alter it, and you are keeping the office. Yet Domlevo, who was doing well, Akuffo hounded out of office. And Esiedu, who can't do that much, he is keeping his office. This is very unfair.
On that particular matter, we have, in fact, put together a request to get the latest on it. Because I recall that when this matter was first reported 5 years ago, the audit service responded to that inquiry, but then did not answer some of the questions. And reason why there was still that lingering issue about exactly where the money is. That answer we haven't gotten. So we have applied for some information so that if there is a need to, as it were, from the references you have made, get into it beyond the advocacy. So that Parliament, for instance, must be interested. Because at some point, Parliament it has been the petition Parliament.
But Parliament couldn't deal with it.
So we're following that petition as well as to whether it was acted upon or not. So then we know what next to do.
Kofi Aflu, who first reported it, he's also now gone to OSP. So Michael Kofi Aflu, he went to OSP. OSP is also looking into it. But that is not an excuse for Mr. Johnson Esiedu to not release the report. Releasing the report is his promise, and that's required by law. It doesn't affect the OSP investigations into the matter.
Perfect. Right. So this is one that we're sinking our teeth into. We want to take some time on this, and because you've mentioned it quite a number of times, we have to get into it. But also joining us is Andy Apiakubi. He's a former member of Parliament for the Asante Achim North constituency. He's a private legal practitioner joining us in that capacity, joining us on Zoom right now. Andy Apiakubi, good morning. Thank you for joining us. But if you unmute for us, unmute for us. Great. And yeah, while you check that, Let me also welcome Godwin Eduji Tamaklo. He is the Director of Legal for the NDC, the governing NDC, and also the Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA. Mr. Tamaklo, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Alfred. Good morning to my two learned seniors.
Yeah, morning.
In fact, three learned seniors.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh boy. Let me also welcome Kofi Bento, is the Vice President of policy think tank Imani Africa. He is a private legal practitioner in good standing. So Kofi Bento, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Alfred. It's a pleasure to be here.
Perfect. We're going to have a few persons join us as well as we go on. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe will join us as well. But, can you hear me? Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect.
Good morning, my brother.
Great. And
I hope you're good. And good morning to my good friends on the panel.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And yes, let's be a bit stable with the Zoom connection. We're still having that break. So please get some stability for us. But this is it.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
If
I don't see any disconnection.
No, it's okay. Now it's fine. Leave it this way.
Okay.
If you could, yes, leave it this way. That should be good. Now, this follows up on the call, gentlemen, by the Catholic Bishops' Conference for the President to declare a state of emergency. We've seen what's happened in the last 5 days at least. The number of operations in the western, eastern, central regions. We showed videos of it. And NIMOS and some other task force that has been set up by the MCE in the Buakwa area to clamp down on Galamsey. In addition to these achievements that the President highlighted last week, as even in the absence of a state of emergency, this is what has been achieved. Is this enough justification for the reluctance of the President to declare a state of emergency? I'll start off with you.
Absolutely. It goes without saying.
These?
Yes, they are.
Why is that?
Oh, I've been making the point even before last Saturday. we were on social media a few days to last Saturday, other radio stations, where I said, look, this then, my key question is this. What is it? And that's what the President said. What is it that we cannot do now, but only a state of emergency will allow us to do? What is it? Because the key thing is that the state of emergency, like I keep saying, is basically it's a paper. Declaration of a state of emergency is a paper. And we all know in our Ghanaian parlance, we like to say, paper no get legs, right? It's something we for carry on. So the declaration of a state of emergency is not a magic wand. That declaration alone is not a silver bullet. You will still need the police to go and enforce. And you see that if you were to declare a state of emergency, you are asking basically what are the consequences after? Because in Article 31, after giving the various circumstances under which a state of emergency can be declared, the next is that the government can take some steps to curtail our liberties. So number one, we are looking at freedom of movement, freedom of speech, right? Communications, assembly. Look at all the freedoms from Article 12 to about 32. The chapter 5 ends around Article 33, right? Of course, there are other rights that are not expressly stated in the Constitution. But Article 33 says that they are also recognized. Because, this our Constitution is partly, these rights are a reproduction of our international obligation under the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights, and then the one on economic and social rights, right? So for those that we've not even expressly provided here, they are also part and recognized. So the key thing is that, why do you want the government to impose a state of emergency to now come and curtail freedom of movement, communications, etc.? To do what?
And this,
to do what?
The call is to enforce this state of emergency or impose a state of emergency in specific areas.
I'm saying, so let's say
where this galamsey is happening, and it's distracting or causing destruction to these forest reserves, and then also the pollution of water bodies. It's not a mass imposition that is being called for.
Excellent. Yes. Oh, I thought that was too clear. You know, often because we don't have much time, we just go to the salient part. But if you permit me, yes, so let's go back. So let's say, yes, we know you showed the galamsey hit this map. Yes. So let's use the president's hometown area, Bole Bamboy. So they say Erasmus Asaridonko gave the example of the Yonkomba River, right? So that area. So if let's say you take Bole, if you say the state of emergency should cover the whole town of Bole, what specific? Are you doing a lockdown? Lockdown that nobody should move, like what we did during COVID? Restrictions, you see, and I'm soon coming to the Supreme Court decision that struck down the Act 1012. You know when we did the restrictions? Yes, Act 1012. The Supreme Court struck it down. It was dubious that the government was using it as a pretext to abuse fundamental human rights. So let's use Bole as an example. So if you say there's a state of emergency over Bole, which one? You know, there are various methods, but let's be graphic. So they can say, okay, curfew, down to dusk, right? So let's say 6, maybe even, they say just stay indoors all day, like the way we were at home during the COVID. Is that what we are looking for? So stay indoors. Everybody should stay indoors. So apart from essential services, police, hospitals, telecom, right, courts, there are about 7 or 8 essential services, right?
Yes.
So apart from them, the rest of the citizens should stay at home.
But with what is happening now?
Sorry?
But what is happening now, yes, what you see, right?
Yes.
There's the task force, they will go to one area,
Yes.
clamp down on the activities.
Yes.
When they move from there, after some time, the illegal miners go back.
But the president gave an answer. He said now they will give a permanent presence. We have police. The police are at least around 40,000. There are millions of graduates at home. They want to enlist in the police service. And me, I keep repeating that. I pray that, look, we shouldn't use the military. We can use the police. Let the military do external aggression and war. Let the police work. Let the police work. We don't want this militarization of galamsey. No. Okay? Let the military concentrate on the other. Look, we need bridges, more roads to be built, etc. If the military, we have more of them in the barracks and the rest, they are not occupied. Let's deploy them in the big push agenda when it comes to the road construction, because they have the 48 engineer regiment, etc. Because I've been advocating that a lot of the government projects, yes, let the military help. That one I agree. But when it comes to law enforcement, the Constitution is clear that the police has that traditional role of maintaining law and order, right? Yes, as we've stated in Article 200, right? So my point is that now, so we're talking about the, what do you call it, imposing restrictions. So let's just read this briefly before we go on. It says, Article 200, Clause 3, it says, the police service shall be equipped and maintained to perform its traditional role of maintaining law and order. Then when you go to Article 210, that's 210, you say, it says, the armed forces shall be equipped and maintained to perform their role of defense of Ghana. So that's the main one. Okay? As well as such other functions for the development of Ghana as the president may determine. So you see, for the development, yes, the roads, the big...
Over 44 forest reserves have been lost. We're talking about 5,252 hectares degraded. Pra and Cobra, Birim, what we showed you, have their turbidity levels going beyond 5,000. In fact, what has led to the closure of the Kwenyakon headworks, which has led to over 10 districts not having access to potable water. The turbidity levels of that Ayensu and Densu rivers gone up beyond what is expected. With 3,000 hectares destroyed in Western Region alone, the Forest District. Cocoa Board, a couple of years ago, indicated the loss of over 4.8 billion cocoa output as a result of mainly galamsey. The verdict, all of these and what we have seen. The Catholic Bishop Conference says it's a matter of national security. Declare state of emergency. But then, government says the halt is the last resort. The CSO's Catholic Bishop Conference says the halt, in fact, the state of emergency should be the first. And this is what the president has indicated, that measures that have been put in place already to fight galamsey and the successes that have been chalked. Over 1,000 illegal miners have been arrested. Special courts in the offering to speed up prosecution of illegal miners. 440 excavators impounded. 1,400 plus water pumps destroyed. 300 chamfan machines seized in recent months. 980 security personnel recruited and deployed to protect water bodies and reserves. Are these measures enough? And these successes that are being chalked without a state of emergency enough to justify the president's reluctance to declare a state of emergency? Martin Kpebu is private legal practitioner. He's the leader of the Komipreko Reloaded demonstration. We understand there's going to be another peaceful protest tomorrow. This is by Oliver Bakavomao and the Fix the Country team on this matter of galamsey. Martin Kpebu is joining us in the studio. Counsel, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Morning, Mr. Okansi. It's good to be here once again.
What's the hat? This one? What's the name of this one?
Fedora.
Fedora.
Yeah, this is a fedora.
Fedora.
Yeah.
What's the origin of Fedora?
The movie called Fedora, in the 1930s. Yeah.
The Fedora. 1930s.
Yeah. Google it. The movie that gave the hat the name Fedora. Yeah. That's the name of the movie as well.
I see. So the main character was wearing this. You have a different brand every Saturday. So
yes, it's to excite the fans.
Indeed.
Yes, some are asking for something exciting.
A lot of people look forward to the hat you're going to wear on Saturday.
Yes.
Good stuff. It's good to see you. You look good, by the way.
Thank you. You too.
Perfect.
You too. Yes. So as usual, let's do the rituals. I want to, today we started with Mr. Demlevo. Last week it was refreshing to see how he came in strongly on the Abronya matter.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Demlevo, former Auditor General, he's board chair of Yoko. Yet he didn't say that because he's board chair, anything goes. Anything that happens, he hasn't seen. See no evil, say no evil. No. True. He went on Facebook and condemned the way Abronya's rights were being abused. And of course, a lot of us took inspiration from him. People jumped on, and then, long story short, eventually the MPP guys went back to court on Monday and got bail for Abronya. That's good. And also, in that respect, you will see that from Mr. Demlevo's post, he's asking for review of Act 30. You see, yes, he's saying that, look, we can do something so that the laws on bail will be clearer. You see, look, let me just read it briefly. It says, is there any act of parliament or legislative instrument regulating bail conditions and remanding of suspects or accused persons? If no, then I think we need one immediately. If yes, then it may need to be reviewed to eliminate discretion in some situations and minimize it in others. I don't support the use of bail conditions and remand to punish fellow countrymen. So that's Mr. Daniel Demlevo, board chair of Yoko. That's in response to the Abronya matter. I'll continue reading this because, as I said, in this series, we want to get citizens who will be objective, not to think about only their stomachs.
Indeed.
Because that's the bane of our democracy. People get in and it's all about chop. They are scared that if they voice anything, they will be removed. No, the president himself has been saying it, that citizens should speak up. Citizens should speak up. That's one of the ways will help to foster our democracy. Of course, and in that light, too, let me mention, last week I mentioned that Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine was going to do us proud by intervening. But at the end of the day, he didn't have to. So Dr. Ayine didn't have to. Yeah, the MPP were able to go. And you see, the Attorney General's office, nobody even turned up. Yes, the system worked. So it is allowed. That look, once it's the liberty of the citizens, the bail application has been served, it's not there, it's done. Even I'm happy Lawyer Pia Kubi is on today's program. When Kennedy Japan's matter happened, was it 2012? Yes, Apia Kubi went to court, ex-party, and the bail was granted. We are not playing with personal liberty, so no, not at all. When you read Sofia Akuffo's judgment, the 48 hours is 48 hours. You see how she reiterates the principle that personal liberties are priceless.
Indeed.
If prosecution, you think you have a case, look, admit the person to bail, go to court, let them also come and cross-examine your witnesses, and at the end, let the court decide. But don't use bail as punishment. That one, lie. There's no way any of us will sit here and support such acts. So please, the prosecution, take notice, especially the overzealous policemen who want to use this kind of political cases to get promotion, etc. Face fine or eye service has no place in our democracy. For us, it's about personal liberties are priceless. Use due process. If you finish the case in court, that one, the punishments are what you call indicated in the Act 30 and other laws. Of course, if the punishments also appear too harsh, we will make noise for review, just like the death penalty was struck down.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. So Akuffo, yes, and to thank you once again for the 48 hours is 48 hours. Of course, current Chief Justice, Acting Chief Justice Bawumia was on the panel. Bawumia was on the Kpebu number 1 and number 2, all those cases. It's interesting how they've all been going now. It's Bawumia's turn. And I hope he will make it, a substantive Chief Justice, because that's important.
We are in some of the typical channel, so I'm not so Jimre or Hadassah, so why didn't you do me a domain? Besides, near some more constant H.Court Politics Avenue.